I wake up sometimes at 3 a.m., and I still reach for her side of the bed. 5 years later, my hand finds nothing but cold sheets and the ghost of what we had. They say time heals all wounds. They're wrong. Time just teaches you how to live with the bleeding. Her name was Sarah Mitchell. I met her on a Tuesday, October 15th, 2019. I remember because it was raining, and I hate the rain. But that day, the rain brought me everything. I was sitting in this corner coffee shop in Brooklyn, the kind with mismatched furniture and baristas who actually remember your order. I'd been going there for 2 years, always alone, always with my laptop, pretending to write the novel I'd never finish. Sarah walked in soaking wet, laughing at herself, her dark hair plastered to her face. She had this energy, like she was lit from the inside. When she smiled at the barista, the whole room got brighter. She sat down at the table next to mine, pulled out a sketchbook, started drawing. I tried not to stare, but I couldn't help it. Every few minutes she'd pause, bite her lower lip in concentration, then continue. After about 20 minutes, she caught me looking. "Is my concentration face really that entertaining?" she asked. Her voice had this rasp to it, like whiskey and honey. I stammered something idiotic. She laughed. That laugh. God, that laugh could make you believe in something bigger than yourself. "I'm Sarah," she said, extending her hand across the gap between our tables. "Michael," I managed. When our hands touched, I swear something shifted in the universe. We talked for 4 hours that day. The coffee shop closed around us, and we didn't even notice. She was an artist, working freelance for animation studios while pursuing her own work. I was a high school English teacher who dreamed of being a writer. She showed me her sketches, these incredible portraits of strangers she'd observed on the subway, each one capturing something essential, something true. "I draw what I see beneath the surface," she told me. "The person behind the face they show the world." I asked if she'd draw me. She studied my face for a long moment. "Not yet," she said softly. "I need to know you first, really know you." We exchanged numbers as the barista literally held the door open for us. It was still raining. She didn't have an umbrella. I offered to share mine. We walked 15 blocks out of my way to her apartment in the West Village, getting soaked anyway because I held the umbrella over her while rain drummed against my shoulders. At her door, she turned to me. "Same time next week?" she asked. "Tomorrow," I said. Too eager, too desperate, I didn't care. She smiled. "Tomorrow, then." The next 6 months were the happiest of my life. We fell into this perfect rhythm. Morning coffee before I went to teach. Evenings in her studio apartment, which she'd turned into this magical space full of half-finished canvases and string lights and the smell of turpentine and jasmine tea. She'd paint while I'd read my students' essays. Sometimes we'd talk for hours. Sometimes we'd sit in comfortable silence, just existing together. She taught me how to see, really see, not just look at things, but observe them. The way light hits water, the expression in a stranger's eyes on the train, the small, beautiful details that make life worth living. I taught her about books, about stories. We'd read to each other in bed, poetry mostly. She loved Mary Oliver. "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" That was her favorite line. On Valentine's Day 2020, she finally drew my portrait. She worked on it for 3 hours while I sat perfectly still, growing more uncomfortable by the minute. When she turned the sketchbook around, I barely recognized myself. She'd drawn me the way she saw me, stronger, kinder, more alive than I'd ever felt. In the corner, she'd written, "Michael, the man who taught me that love isn't about finding someone perfect. It's about finding someone whose imperfections fit perfectly with yours." I cried, actually cried. She put down the sketchbook and held me. "I love you," I whispered. It was the first time I'd said it to anyone and meant it completely. "I know," she whispered back. "I've loved you since that first rainy Tuesday." Then March 2020 happened. The world shut down. Most people remember the pandemic as this terrible thing, but those first few months, locked down in her apartment, they were heaven. Just us, cut off from everything, living in our own little universe. We cooked elaborate meals, had movie marathons, made love like the world might end tomorrow, because maybe it would. One night in April, we were lying on her floor beneath the skylight, looking at stars you could actually see now that the city had gone quiet. If this is the end of the world, she said, I'm glad I'm ending it with you. This isn't the end, I told her. This is just the beginning. We have a whole life ahead of us. She was quiet for a long time, then, promise me something. If anything ever happens to me, don't stop living. Don't stop writing. Don't stop seeing the beauty. Promise me. I laughed it off. Nothing's going to happen to you. Promise me, Michael. I promise. She seemed satisfied with that. We fell asleep under those stars. The headaches started in May. She brushed them off. Stress, she said. The pandemic, the isolation, staring at screens too long. But they got worse. By June, she was having trouble with her balance. Dropping things. I begged her to see a doctor. She finally agreed. The MRI was scheduled for June 29th. I remember the date because it was a Monday, and I hate Mondays almost as much as I hate rain. The results came back on July 2nd. The doctor's words are burned into my brain. Glioblastoma, stage 4, inoperable. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 2 words that mean nothing and everything. Sarah was 32 years old. The doctor gave her 6 months to a year, maybe less. The next part is hard to talk about. She handled it better than I did. I wanted to rage, to fight, to bargain with God or the universe or whoever was listening. She just got quiet, thoughtful, like she was studying this new reality the way she studied faces before drawing them. I'm not going to spend whatever time I have left being angry, she told me. I want to paint. I want to love you. I want to live. So that's what we did. She started a new series of paintings. Abstract explosions of color, unlike anything she'd done before. Wild, uninhibited, beautiful. She called it life compressed. She worked every day that she felt strong enough. Some days, I'd come home from teaching online classes to find her passed out on the floor, paintbrush still in her hand. I'd carry her to bed and she'd wake up hours later asking if she could keep working. I need to leave something behind, she'd say. I need people to know I was here. We got married in her hospital room on November 14th, 2020. She wore this white dress she'd ordered online. I wore the suit from my father's funeral. Her parents Zoom called in from California. My mom and sister watched from the doorway because only 2 visitors were allowed. The hospital chaplain officiated. Sarah's hands shook so badly I had to help her hold the ring as she slid it onto my finger. Till death do us part, the chaplain said. Sarah looked at me with those eyes I'd fallen in love with in that coffee shop. Not even then, she whispered. She made it to January 11th, 2021, 44 days as my wife. In those last weeks, she could barely speak. The tumor had spread, pressing against parts of her brain that controlled language, movement, everything that made her her. But she kept drawing. Even when she couldn't paint anymore, she drew. Small sketches, simple lines, birds, hearts, my face. On her last day, I climbed into the hospital bed with her. She was in and out of consciousness. I read her Mary Oliver. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? She squeezed my hand 3 times. Our code for I love you. I squeezed back 3 times. She died at 4:17 a.m. on January 11th, 2021. I was holding her. I felt the exact moment she left. The room didn't get colder or darker, it just got emptier. Impossibly, unbearably empty. After she died, I found a letter. She'd written it months earlier, hidden it in the drawer of her nightstand. My name on the envelope in her shaky handwriting. My beautiful Michael, it began. If you're reading this, I'm gone, and you're probably not keeping your promise. You're probably drowning. So let me save you one more time. You gave me the greatest gift anyone's ever given me. You saw me. The real me, the messy, imperfect, wild me, and you loved every bit. Now I need you to do something for me. I need you to live, really live, not just exist, but live. Write your novel, fall in love again, yes, again. I'm giving you permission. Love someone the way you loved me, because Michael, you are so good at loving. Don't let my death make you afraid of life. I drew you one last portrait. It's in my studio, wrapped in brown paper. Don't open it until you're ready. You'll know when. I love you. I loved you from that first rainy Tuesday. I'll love you beyond the last star dying in the sky. This isn't goodbye. I'll be in every beautiful thing you see, every sunset, every stranger's kind smile, every moment of joy. That's not me haunting you, that's me loving you, forever, Sarah. I didn't open that last portrait for 3 years, couldn't. On what would have been our 5th wedding anniversary, I finally unwrapped it. She'd drawn us together, not as we were in that hospital room, but as we were that first day, sitting in that coffee shop. Her drawing, me watching, both of us on the edge of everything. At the bottom, she'd written, "The story doesn't end, it just changes shape. Keep living, keep loving, keep seeing the beauty. I'll be watching." I started writing after that, every day, the novel I'd always talked about. It's about us, about her, about how love doesn't end when someone dies. It just transforms into something else, something that lives in the work we do, the kindness we show, the beauty we create and recognize in the world. Her paintings sold after she died. All of them. They hang in homes across the world now. People who never met her live with her vision every day. She left her mark. She mattered. She was here. I still reach for her side of the bed sometimes. But now, instead of finding emptiness, I find purpose. She taught me that grief and love are the same thing. You can't have one without the other. And I would rather live with this grief, this proof that I love someone so completely, than never have known her at all. This is what I know about love. It's not about forever. It's about now. It's about choosing someone every single day and letting them see you, really see you. It's about rainy Tuesdays and coffee shops and stupid promises you try your hardest to keep. Sarah Mitchell lived for 33 years. She painted, she loved, she saw beauty everywhere. She taught me how to live. And even though she's gone, she's still teaching me. Every day, I try to keep my promise. I write. I notice the light hitting water. I smile at strangers. I live. Because that's what she asked. That's what love asks. So if you're out there and you're hurting and you're wondering if you'll ever feel whole again, I need you to hear this. You will survive. Not unchanged, but you will survive. And maybe, like me, you'll find that the love you lost doesn't disappear. It becomes the foundation for everything you build next. I still hate the rain. But sometimes, when it falls, I remember that rainy Tuesday in October. And I smile. Because once upon a time, the rain brought me everything. And even though it's gone now, I gotta hold it for a while. That's enough. That has to be enough. And somehow, impossibly, it is.